We're talking of legacy in sport and passing down that legacy of the vision being handed over to the next in line. And although this is difficult to execute because adopting, buying into and propagating one person's vision as your own is often hard. You have to do it with conviction. But guess what's more difficult? Creating a legacy from scratch, being the first person to establish a winning pattern that will be remembered for generations to come. Because let's face it, an underdog story is far more enriching and interesting narrative than watching a team build on years of legacy by conquering yet another feat. Because success for the established isn't half as fascinating as the triumph of an underdog. A statement that perfectly describes German football today. Bayer Leverkusen scored 5 goals against Werder in another Bundesliga outing, adding another win to their undefeated season. But this win was sweeter because of this, they lifted the Bundesliga title, their first league title in the history of German football. And it couldn't have come at a better time. They were playing at home in front of a stadium packed to the brim with fans, giving them just about everything to cheer about. Not just the stadium, but the whole city of Leverkusen erupted with joy. And it was because of one man, the one man who gave the people of Leverkusen their biggest triumph. Xabi Alonso, the Spaniard who himself won multiple Bundesliga titles as a Bayern Munich player, ended Munich's 11-year dominance in the Bundesliga and gave Leverkusen their first title in 120 years.
Ja, endlich zu sagen.
Finally, we can say Bayer Leverkusen is a German champion. It's a huge honor for all of us. It was totally earned by the team, by the club, by the fans. Everyone, all departments were working and fighting for this title, so we are a result of that hard work over many years. This is a moment to enjoy and a huge success for this club. The first title is always special for everyone. So to be part of this history feels incredible.
But why is this win so special? It is not just because it was Leverkusen's first title, that's huge, but it's the way Leverkusen secured the victory. There are still 5 games left in the season, and despite that, there is a champion. Leverkusen are 16 points ahead of Bayern Munich, and in 5 games, Munich can only aggregate 15 points, which made Leverkusen champion even before the final day. A dominance that's usually shown by Bayern Munich in the German league. So Leverkusen not just ended Bayern's supremacy, but the club also started a bit of their own authority in Bundesliga. So how did this come about? Here was a club that had languished in the 17th position at this very stage, just 2 years ago. The person at the center of this miracle campaign has been their manager. Xabi Alonso took over the role of Leverkusen's manager in 2022, a time when the club was in the relegation zone. And when you are there at the bottom 3 and fail to improve your standings, the eventuality is that the club could find itself demoted to the lower divisions of German football. That was the scenario when Xabi Alonso took charge, when he took over. And in just more than a year and a half, Alonso changed the whole facade of Leverkusen. First, he made sure they got out of relegation zone. That was imperative and the first task at hand. And then began the rebuilding phase, rebuilding a side that was clearly in tatters at that point. Xabi Alonso's principle was simple. He built a strategy without resorting to splurging cash or roping in the expensive players. Alonso targeted the basics, the basic foundation of any club, any team, any sporting group. He concentrated on changing the work culture and the team ethics. His focus was not just on bettering their goal-scoring skills, that's important, but also on the all-round play, how well they defended, how well they kept opponents in check. And that is what everyone started seeing in the new and slowly revamping Leverkusen. In a season where Bayern Munich's Harry Kane has scored 32 goals, Leverkusen's highest scorer has been Florian Wirtz and Victor Boniface with 11 goals apiece. So you do not need the big numbers to win big. He gave Victor Boniface more freedom to play. Alonso pushed the player to take more chances, take more risks, which improved the conversion rate too, giving Boniface the freedom to play with no hesitation. Greater the risk, greater the rewards. That automatically improved his game too and made him a better player. No wonder Jurgen Klopp, who's a strong tactician himself, called Alonso a standout manager. And it's not like Leverkusen was a poor club all these years. I'm not getting there. They always came close to winning trophies but couldn't really get over the line. A line that sat far away from them for 120 years. They had a nickname, Vizekusen, which means second Kusen in English, never first. They had the tag of finishing second, being the bridesmaid always. Up until 2011, Leverkusen finished second on 5 occasions. It took Alonso's magical touch to make them the champions they are today.
I knew quite a lot because Leverkusen is not new. It has been a great club for years, with so many great players, with so many great coaches. I had played here a few times. So yeah, I have no doubt that it could be a great step in my new career, because it was my first station as a coach. And last year helped me a lot to came in a difficult situation, to prove so many things. It was a great first experience, hoping that the second year will be better. Not expecting that good, but happy to live that good.
It's an achievement that is nothing short of a miracle, but that isn't the only piece of historical glory that the club is chasing. Leverkusen has now been unbeaten, remained unbeaten in 43 consecutive matches across all competitions, the longest streak by any German club across tournaments. In the 29 matches in Bundesliga alone, they've won 25 games and have drawn 4. And with 5 more games left in the season, the possibility is definitely overwhelming, and one that they would be doing their best not to let their minds wander to that often. But the possibilities don't end here. Leverkusen will be eyeing for another historic achievement, having won the Bundesliga title. Leverkusen, with the Europa League quarterfinals coming up and the DFB Pokal final, Germany's domestic tournament, are in contention of a super triumph. Meaning in the year of their maiden Bundesliga win, they are also on the verge of claiming a treble. And it's the one person who has made it possible so far, Xabi Alonso, a dependable midfielder in his own playing days, is harnessing those very qualities now as a manager, acting as a playmaker for Leverkusen and also blocking others from winning trophies. All of that without even taking the field. The same Alonso who turned down the lucrative offer to coach Liverpool is now spinning magic at a club that clearly has their faith in his abilities. So, he has some unfinished business yet at Leverkusen, and Alonso, just as you heard him, is not done with one trophy alone.